those of you right here, you'll see the difference between the two Facebook groups. One of them is a private group. It's the Wise Wingman group. Your comments inside there, for those of you over here that I'm pointing at right now, you're in a private Facebook group. This group here is a public Facebook group. Just so you know the difference, your comments will stay in the private group or in the public group. Just giving you that option. Ann's checking in from Denver. I'm going to do most of the communication probably in the public group because that's the biggest iPad and it's easier. So Rebecca's here. Michelle is here. Good evening to you. Pam is here. Let's see, microphone's too far away probably. Cool. So yeah, Pam is here. Got that. Tammy's over on Facebook over there. And then like I said, we got YouTube. And man, this is nuts. Sherry, good to see you. So Roxanne, hello, how are you? From Illinois. Sherry, I got you there. Freezing over in Long Island, says Donna. Stephanie's checking in from Rhode Island as well. Rhode Island. Julie from Kansas. Terry's here. Becky's from Roscoe, Illinois. Mandy's here. Carol, finally awake for once. Very, very nice. So, yeah, Judy. So again, I see a lot of you over in the private Facebook group. It's just going to be very difficult for me to interact with that group. So that's kind of for you guys to hang out with each other. I'm going to do. It's just easy. Yeah, no, I got a light. I don't know if it's too much. Let me just do that. There we go. Is that better? Lighting wise? Very good. Vero Beach, Cherry's checking in. Diane is here. Let's see. Southern California is here. All kinds of good stuff. Cool. Anyway, so yeah, I'm attempting this for the first time that we're live streaming 5 different times. And if my family's listening, someone should come take a picture of this because it's cool before we get into the actual podcast thing. But yeah. So very, very cool. So Tammy, yeah, Megan's gonna come down and get a picture. It's kind of nuts. Let's get YouTube. There we go. Cool. Yeah, wherever. Just get a couple photos. But yeah. Anyway, neat that we're live 5 different places. It's just kind of cool. So I got a great show, obviously scheduled and planned. Let's see, Judy, Gina is here. Lori, you're back to the original side. I like it. Yeah. It's very, I think the original side is going to be better, but I just know some folks, they want, one of the common themes is some of us, we're starting this journey new. We don't necessarily need our whole world to know we're doing it. So that's the only reason that inside the Wise Wingman group will be live there. But like I said, admittedly, it's going to be very difficult for me to engage. Okay, it's the furthest phone away from me, unfortunately. But anyway, so yeah, Winnipeg, I can see Dan's checking in from Winnipeg. Mary's from Arkansas. Let's see, it looks like Twitter and Instagram are pretty silent. So cool. Susan Moon, hello. Daniela from Nebraska, how are you? Let's get started with some, let's see, where is, got too much stuff, apparently. Let's see. I'm looking for my handy dandy pen, but I don't see it. So, I knew I had it. There you go. Let's open up with let's get into the Book of Awesome. Yep. Yeah, I got it. It's here. This is my Coolio pen. Karen checking in on Facebook. Gotcha. Very good. Barbara's over there. Angie's over there. New Jersey's in the house. Let's end this year well. Tell me all the cool things you got going on. Let's get a couple things written in the Book of Awesome, and then we'll get rolling into episode 153. What do you got awesome-wise? Let's see. You got something, right? There's got to be something cool going on. Michelle's freezing up in Michigan, right? MI is Michigan. MN is Minnesota. Very fun. Steven Sprangle's checking in. Hello. See, so here, Instagram is going to be a little bit of a challenge. Karen, let's get Karen written down. Size 10 pants. First time ever. I got to change ink in my pen. Sue, that's a great one. Sue lost half a pound over Christmas. First time ever. Very good. Got you written down, Sue. Let's see. Penny ordered the the Nokia Steel Tracker. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm wearing mine. Of course, they sent it to me, so I love it. But I really do like it a lot. So very, very fun. Very good. Carol checking in from Huntington, Indiana. Amy checking in from Tennessee. Lori's got a Nokia tracker. Very cool. Holly, very nice. Good job, Holly. Hashtag be the prize, right? Let's see. Let me get Holly written down. Convinced. Oh, come on. I lost it. Convinced my sister and cousin to join. This it was. Very good. And listen, I forgot that. I had someone text me earlier. They were getting the app for the first time, and they couldn't find episode 54 in the app, so that was kind of weird for me. So, I mean, the app's working fine, but hopefully you guys can find episode 54 in the app. I hope that's the case for you. But yeah, when you have folks listen for the first time, episode 54 is usually the good one. Yeah, Susan's checking in saying she likes the sign above my head that the family got me. Yeah, I like it too. It's my favorite. Favorite. Rebecca bought a headliner hat to wear so you can walk in the cold weather. Very fun. Tammy, 54 days in a row of exercise. That's incredible. Let's see here. Hang on, do a little surgery. It's just my pen is just not writing. So that's I guess that's the thing of we're gonna doing some little swapping out. Feel like a magician. All right, so Tammy, 54 days. There we go. Much better writing. Thank you for, yeah. Lisa, episode 54 is in your app. That's good. I don't know why. Like I said, someone brand new today said they couldn't find it. So, Audrey, at the lowest weight you've been in 4 years. Incredible. Feels good, right? You know it does. Let's see. Tanny says lost 120 pounds. Have to learn to manage your addiction. Yep, very, very. That's so true. It's so true. Darlene said husband Kenny's recent blood work all normal. He's pre-diabetic, not anymore. Normal cholesterol and normal blood pressure. Man, that's very, very cool. Let's get that. For those of you who are new, I ask you to write down all this stuff. And what I know is that most of you don't. So I write it down for you. And I'll show you in a second. So I ask you to write down your non-scale victories, and then I do it for you instead. So we call it the Book of Awesome. We got quite a few pages in. We're about a quarter of the way through the book, so that's very, very fun too. And then let's see, Lisa, hello. Wendy from Michigan, hello. Lori said a girl at work asked how much I lost so much weight and said Weight Watchers and running. She said she's joining next week. Way to go, Lori. Way to be the prize. Susan joined Curves for Women today. Very fun. Congratulations on that. Great job. Jeannie says, went out to eat for the first time on plan. Did what, Okiashi? Not sure because I don't know how to track. So many different point levels for things. Came home and went nuts. No idea why. Sitting here, finally tracked everything I ate. Realized that I think it has to do with I didn't know exactly what the points were. Yeah, so sometimes if you don't know the points, you just put something in just to be accountable is better than nothing. But you can find things that are very close. Joanne says, I love Curves, but all the ones in your area were shut down years ago. I've never been to the ones here. Obviously, it's mostly for women, right? Wanda says, shucks, you appear to come on late, at least 11 p.m. here at Atlantic time. Yes. So yeah, it'll be on YouTube. You can rewatch the video on YouTube anytime. Usually on the weekends, I'm working on doing a little earlier show on the weekends, Wanda. So you may be able to catch it that time as well. Carol says down 1.6 for Christmas week with a total of 37, which is an amazing accomplishment. So Amy says having a rough week. Freestyle has not clicked. I get it. Kind of in the similar boat, but episodes, what is it, 149 and 50 and 51 talk about freestyle. So hopefully that will get you lit up. And then Marty says last night in New York City, headed home to Corpus Christi tomorrow. I bet you'd be glad to be home to the warmth, right? Carol says totally out of control. Too many treats in the house. Got to get rid of them, not eat them. You know, you can either throw them away or eat them. Those are your two options, but they're going to disappear one way or the other almost always. So very cool. All right, let's get episode 153 rocking. Let's get that rolling. Let's see. Kim Jones down 50 pounds in a year. Very cool. All right, Book of Awesome sealed up. Get that done. Episode 153 is right here. Let's do a mic check. Let's get that going. Too many cords and wires. Test. Mic check, testing 1 2, testing 1 2 3. Sounds good. All right, so very cool. So yeah, again, for those of you who are just checking in, we got 5 live streams going. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitter. We're live on YouTube, live on Instagram, and then we're live in the Wise Wingman Facebook group as well. So pretty interesting to know that we can do 5 live streams at once. I wasn't truly sure if it was possible or not, but certainly looks like the house has the bandwidth to do that. Mic check is good, and so the only thing left is to do show 153. And what does that mean? That means we start off. Cheers. All right, here we go. So again, Facebook gets the popping bottle sound. And here we go. Cheers. Woo. Yeah, we're alive. All right, episode 153. Here we go. Oops. Why oops up? Yeah, mic check's done, water's done. Here we go. I am your host, Fat Dag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, and your celebrations, and I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 153 of Wise Advice. And, I said the opening of the show many, many, many times. And for those of you who join in live in the Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, wherever we're live at, a lot of folks are often amazed that every time I do the show, I do the opening live. I start from the beginning. I read it. I pretty much have it memorized, of course. But I want to make sure that what's not lost is that there's two things that are very important in the opening of the show. And the first one is when you're out of points, stop eating points. That's the foundation for the whole program. And now with so many additions to the list of things you can eat when you're out of points, it becomes even more critical to when you're out of points, just stop eating points. And the other thing that is very critical in the opening of the show is I open it with, I believe in you. And I don't just say that. I sincerely believe that you can do this. The reason I believe that you can do this is because when I started this thing, I didn't know that I could do it. And then when someone showed me that it was possible, I got it done. And then I was like, oh, I'm just a regular person. If I can do this, truly anyone can do this. So when you're out of points, stop eating points. And I absolutely believe in you. Coming up on the start of the new year, we're winding down December. And we're gonna obviously have a whole bunch of new folks kind of find the podcast for the first time. This may be the first episode they get to, so I want to kind of do a little bit of a refresher for those of you who are coming in and picking up the podcast in the middle. There's some great episodes. My favorites are 54. Episode 12 is a good one. Episode 76 talks about complacency. That's a good one. The 99 100 series 101, that's a good set of podcasts. Dig into some of those, but I want to just extend my a big arm out and a big hug and just say welcome to new members. And just before the show, about 30 minutes or so before I was getting the show right, I got a message from a real good friend of mine, and she said, hey, I recommitted. I'm a lifetime member. I'm back to get it done. And so her and I chatted back and forth briefly. And I want to obviously welcome her to the show, to our team, to the group. And here's where I'm going to start with some advice: is if you're just now joining for the very first time, or if you're rejoining as she is, and she's rejoining as a lifetime member, when you hit lifetime, you're lifetime for a lifetime. That's why they call it lifetime. There's lifetime at goal. There's lifetime not at goal, as you're going to hear a little later in the show. But if you are rejoining, the only reason you're willing to pay money for a program that you did before is because you know it works. If you had signed up for the program and you paid a bunch of money and it didn't work for you, then you would never recommit to it by paying money again. So if you're recommitting, it means at some point you figured out throughout the process that the actual program works. Whether or not you could incorporate it into your life, that's a whole different discussion. That's what we're working on. I can tell you it's absolutely worth it. But I want to give you a couple pointers to help you as you re-navigate your new journey into a new, healthy, happy you. We know the plan works. Without a doubt, the plan works. The legal folks and the Weight Watcher team, they put disclaimers everywhere, and it says members following the Weight Watcher plan can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. Expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. Those words are key. Now, I didn't make them up. They're not my words. They're all over the print. You know someone had to validate that. And in order to validate that, they have to use, true data, true people to be able to say that that is the motto they put everywhere. So if we know that is true, and that's why you're recommitting to the plan, and that's why you're willing to pay again because you know that to be true, then what's going to happen is you're going to start the plan. You're going to be on fire. You're going to be motivated. You're going to go get it done, and you're going to lose somewhere in that range. And you're going to be down 10, 15 pounds really relatively soon, and you're going to start feeling really good about yourself. You're going to start feeling pride. You're going to start feeling happy. Some of the clothes that you're wearing that are maybe just a touch tight right now, all of a sudden now start fitting a little more comfortably. And that's when you have to start looking out for what we call the complacency trap. Sometimes it hits later on in the journey, but it certainly can hit early on. And so a couple of things that I want to tell you to help combat that and to help beat that is today, right now, when you're done listening to this podcast, pick out your phone, take some photos. Take a photo of you from the neck up. Take a photo of full body. Take it with clothes, without clothes. I don't care. I don't want to see the photos. I want you to keep them for yourself. Because again, we know the program works. And as you start to have success, you start to lose 5, 10 pounds, whatever it is, you're going to quickly forget today. And then you're going to run to your bathroom mirror for validation that you look good. And when you get there, your bathroom mirror is not going to be able to validate your weight loss for you. Your bathroom mirror for so long has been telling you you look great. When you run to your bathroom mirror, you're looking at your eyes, you're looking at your hair, you're looking at your makeup. You're looking at so many things besides you. You're so used to seeing you that you just start to look past that part of it. And so now, as you've lost 10 pounds, you go back to that same mirror that you've been looking at forever, and you don't get the affirmation that you were looking for. So then you start to get discouraged because you say, oh, wait a minute, this isn't working. I'm only down 10 pounds. It's pointless. And if you had a photo to look back, you could almost always see a 10-pound weight loss in photos. So I encourage you to get some photos, get that documented now so that you have something to reference to. And like I said, a lot of us, when we start this journey, we're not really much in love with the camera. So it's a hard process for us to do. And you just have to know that you just do it. Don't look at them. Don't touch them until you get that first wave of success. Then use them to motivate you. The other thing I want you to do is that we know, again, the plan works. I want you to, right now, the mindset that you're in, I want you to capture it. You don't join by accident. Very few people stumble into a Weight Watcher meeting thinking that it's something different. You don't navigate over to WeightWatchers.com and click sign up and pull out your credit card on accident. It's a very deliberate action to do that. You don't generally do it because you're at the best place in your life. You don't do it because you're the most fit of your adult life. You do it because something drove you there. You're unhappy with the way you look. You're unhappy with the way you feel. You're not happy with your health. There's something going on that drove you to pay for this membership again. You've got to tap into that because that motivation also goes away when you're down 10 to 15 pounds. If you haven't captured the emotion that you're feeling at the moment that you join, it becomes very easy to forget it when all of a sudden the clothes that you're wearing again start to become, fitting comfortably. But let's face it, chances are, if you're just now joining and your clothes are a little tight, those aren't the clothes you want to stay in. So when those start fitting good, you start feeling good, but the reality is that's not the size you want to stay in. You probably want to drop a size or two or more, but when you start getting comfortable in that clothing because they're no longer uncomfortable to wear, you start getting that success and you say, okay, I can, I've done it. And the reality is that you have so much further to go. So that's where the pictures come in, and writing down your why is very important. So you know who you are, who I'm specifically talking to. Shout out to you. Welcome to our team. So glad to have you here. Let me know, keep me posted on how well you're doing. Out of the gate, the first email comes from Carol. And Carol writes in and says, I just opened your email. It was appropriate timing of the 29th of December. Melancholy usually settles in as December 30th, 1999. Our daughter was killed in a car accident. We never even spoke of the upcoming millennium or New Year. Remember all the news, the hype? Well, we never mentioned it at all. Karma, I guess. Fast forward the years. I restarted my weight loss journey in 2014. I lost 28 pounds. I also lost my focus as we retired and we moved across the country away from the grandchildren. I was so focused on making sure that we were okay. I had focused everything on my grandchildren and around us, and I was determined they would not suffer the emotional or verbal abuse our own parents gave us. Yes, we know they loved us, but didn't realize the damage they were doing when, hey, fatty, and you're stupid. Well, that all stays with you for life. After listening to many podcasts and reading other stories, I realized I'm not alone in this thinking. Others have lost children. Others have lost their way. In 2016, I started attending meetings again. For 6 months, I was up and down like a roller coaster with my weight. Not totally thrilled with what I was accomplishing, I started scrolling Connect, started my own Blue Dot Challenge. I don't participate with others as I'm so used to doing things alone. Growing up, I was a military child, never in one place longer than a year, so I never established many friends at all. And I have no school to relate to. I followed other people's suggestions and I started listening to wise advice. I started listening on my walks. I started following the attendance goal. I tracked faithfully. I weigh everything. I started participating a little on Connect. I joined your Facebook group. I read the moderator's stories, and I feel like I finally made my connection to life. My why always had been to get fit and healthy for my grandchildren. Now, it's to still be fit and healthy, but it's for me too. I am worth it. I'm not fatty. I'm not stupid. I'm a lifetime Weight Watcher and darn proud of that fact. No matter how many years ago that was, as you stated, I am still a lifetime member. I'm now 7 pounds away from a healthy BMI. Last time that happened was 1979. My goal weight is to be determined. Yet, as you stated, I will know the feeling. I thank you and the other Weight Watchers who have shared their lives with everyone. Before I started listening to everyone else's stories, I didn't believe there were real people with real struggles, you included. I felt everyone was disconnected from me. I now know and believe I'm not alone. I know I have a lot to learn when I do reach my goal, but I know that I have the fellow Weight Watchers' support, and I am no longer alone. I wish you good focus, Carol. Carol, let's start right out of the gate. What an amazing journey you've had, and my heart breaks for you for December 30th of 1999. I can't even imagine what that's like. And so everything from that point forward in your life, obviously it's just not the life you envisioned, and you're piecing it together, and it's amazing to see that you've been able to come through that and now you're 7 pounds away from goal. I'm very proud of you in that regard, and I'm terribly sorry that that's how we opened the show, but I'm proud of you for taking the time to capture it. And one of the things that I'm most proud about it is how you wrote in the middle of your email that you realize that you're not alone in this thinking and that others have lost children and others have lost their way. But it doesn't mean that you're the only one, and it doesn't mean that you have to accept it as the complete defeat that it feels like. And that's the beauty of this community, is that as we start seeing that so many other people have experienced what we experience and they're able to get through it, is the strength of the community. And so the reason that a lot of us, don't understand some of this pain and some of this grief, and then when you go on to say, the verbal abuse of, hey, fatty, and you're stupid, you're right, it absolutely stays with you for life. And so again, the power of the community is that we don't talk about this stuff very often. In our society, this type of stuff gets pushed to the side, and we just don't ever talk about it. We talk about the weather. We make small talk about, sports teams, and we throw politics in there, but we don't actually talk about life sometimes. And this show, I think, has become so successful because it gives us a little bit of anonymity, however you pronounce the word. You're anonymous in a sense where you can write in and you can use your name and we can attach names to it. But the reality is that no one is going to, directly know who it is, so that we can really dig in and pour out our hearts. And as we do that, other people go, yeah, that's me too. And I'm so proud of the community for reaching out to you and sharing, a suggestion to listen to the podcast to bring you into our community. And I'm proud to hear that you finally made a connection to life. That's what this journey is all about. You're absolutely right. You're not fatty. You're not stupid. You're a lifetime Weight Watcher member who has proven to yourself that you can do this. You absolutely are amazing for being 7 pounds, the closest you've been since 1979. Think about that for a second. For all these years, you've endured this. And here you are, you're mentally there. You're just waiting for the scale to release those last 7 pounds. You're going to know when you step on that scale. You're going to know exactly the feeling I talk about when I say that you step on the scale for the very last time in a weight loss mode. And if it's that point, you continue to be a lifetime member who's at your goal, you are no longer alone. You then reach back, just like other Weight Watchers have done, and you continue to show that you're living the plan. We're real people. We all struggle on occasion. We're not any different than each other, and so that connects us. It's again, it goes back to we're all real, living the same journey, living the same life. There's a couple details here and there that are slightly different for all of us. But every single email that comes through this show, somebody says, I can relate to that. And Carol, thank you for being amazingly strong and sharing your journey so that somebody else right now understands that they too can do this. If someone's been living with this since 1979, they now know it doesn't have to be that way. So thank you. Kat writes in and says, hi, Mike. Last year I had the generic lose weight and get healthy resolution. Well, by the middle of January, that was over. I joined Weight Watchers in February and I haven't looked back. My 2018 resolution is, this is the year of me. I will continue to track everything every day and make my attendance goals. I'm adding a DVD for those super cold mornings. I will hit Wonderland and I will celebrate with a 5K. Thank you for asking us to write this down. It makes it real. Happy New Year to you and to your family and to all my wingman, Kat. Kat, congratulations. And you're absolutely right. We talk about this in the military. I don't think it's just a military term, but whatever we say, whatever you want to measure and track, that's what's going to get done. If you throw a generic term of, hey, I want to lose weight, there's no real specific measure to that. So how do you know when you've done it? Does lose weight mean I want to lose a pound? Does it mean I want to lose 100? It doesn't mean anything. If you've got to set goals, they have to be specific and measurable and attainable. And you can do it. They have to have a timeline to it. They have to have some measurement tools so you know that you're on track or not on track. And if you track it and you make a chart for it, then you absolutely can then chart your progress and you can manage this program and you can get it done. By writing it down, it's that level of accountability that says you can do it, you're owning it, and you're building a system to keep it real. I can't wait to hear you hit Wonderland. I can't wait to see you run your 5K. You're absolutely going to kill it. Keep up the amazing work. Happy New Year to you as well. Out of Texas, Darcy writes in, says, hello, Mike. I am writing to thank you for your service to our great nation and also for helping me to keep my focus. I've been going over in my head what to write for months. I have a story that is much like everyone's. I wanted to share something I'd not heard before and realized I could go on trying to figure out what to write forever. So I'm just going to do it. Again, thanks so much for all you do. I've been overweight since I was really young. I have gained and lost about 600 pounds. People laugh and think I'm kidding when I say that, but it's really true. I have lost and gained the same 50 pounds so many times that I've lost count. I started with Weight Watchers when I was 18 many years ago, and I kept it off for 2 years. Life took over as it does, and I found myself needing to lose 100 pounds. So back to Weight Watchers once again. I've lost about 75 of those pounds, and I'm working on the last 25 or so. I've become a steady work in progress since 2008. My dad suddenly died at 50 from a weight-related issue. I was only 22 at the time, and I was also a newlywed. Then, a short month later, my husband's father died from cancer. Needless to say, my health was the furthest thing from my mind. When I first lost weight, I was not equipped to handle keeping it off. Here is where my weight regain began the first time. I remember thinking it was easier to be fat because I could focus on making being fat the problem instead of the areas of my life that were not going too well. Needless to say, my health was the furthest thing from my mind. Here is where my why comes in. I'm now almost 50, and I have a beautiful 21-year-old daughter who never knew her grandfathers. I want to be around to participate fully in her future. She also shares my issues with food and is also on her own journey to health. She wants to be a doctor, and I'm trying to be her good example. My husband is overweight as well. He's doing Weight Watchers, but is not in the same place in his journey as me. I'm trying to be a good example to him as well. I have rheumatoid arthritis, which until your podcast kind of hindered my weight loss. You pointed out how managing my weight was doable without a ton of exercise. I tend to be an all or nothing type, so I would overdo and end up hurting myself. I now know that attendance trumps performance every time. You were so right on there. I do not love the new freestyle plan as it is a little too freeing. It is something I am really having to work on. I will do it. I will figure it out. I will succeed. I listen to your podcast daily, and I tell everyone I know how it's helping me to learn how to manage my obesity. Yes, episode 151 was another aha moment when you said we must manage our obesity. It really struck a chord with me. I've always thought this, but hearing it out loud from someone else made all the difference for me. Well, I've gone on long enough here, so I'm closing. I really, 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 really appreciate you and all the time that you invest for all of us. Thank you so much, friend. Darcy from Texas. Darcy, again, you just heard the email before yours is that, again, my heart for you as well, it breaks because you're not at 22 years old, you're not supposed to go through what you went through. And so there's no doubt that that plays, a huge role into this journey. And it's easier to, just like you said, to say, well, maybe it's easier to make being fat the problem instead of the areas of your life that you couldn't control. And so if you focus there, your health certainly becomes the furthest thing from your mind. And as you grow up and you get older and as you regroup and as you rebuild your family, you realize that the priorities shift and you actually do want to be a good example for your family. Having a 21-year-old daughter who wants to be a doctor, you absolutely are working to be the prize to show her that her journey too has a happy ending. You can show her that. That's the gift that you can give her. As a parent, so often we struggle with what do we want to do and what do we want to say to our kids, but oftentimes it's not what we say, it's what we do. You've heard the term actions speak louder than words. And as you continue to work the journey, she'll see that you're working the journey. She'll see that not only is success possible, but success is possible inside her own family. There's something incredibly powerful to that. And so you continue to go back and forth with Weight Watchers, as many of us have. The story is not uncommon at all. If I had to add up all of my negative numbers in my weight loss mode, it's probably a few hundred as well. Because I'd lose 40, gain 50, lose 50, gain 60, whatever the math was. I kept coming back because I knew the program worked. It was me that didn't work the program well enough. I get to the point where I would get to the point where it was just quote unquote good enough. And I didn't really get there. And so what I do the podcast for, and as we share these stories, is that whatever we have going on in our life, the thing we can control is our own actions. And so I'm giving you the tools and the power to know that what you're trying to do truly is possible. You're an amazing role model for your daughter. You're an amazing role model for your husband. He's working his own journey. I get that. I want to make sure that you understand that as you continue being a great example, that you're doing it for you. You can't do this for them. The best you can do is show them, but you have to take the action for you to get it done. So no matter what's going on in your life, whether you have, arthritis, and it doesn't hinder the weight loss journey. You can eat healthy no matter what else is going on in your life. Sure, there are periods of time when you don't want to. I get that. But if just because you have an ailment or you have some trauma and tragedy going on in your life does not give you a free pass to just eat carte blanche. You can make healthy choices, and sure, it's difficult in the moment to want to do it. But the point that I'm driving home is that you can. You absolutely can, and it doesn't need exercise to get this done. Living healthy and happy is a choice that you get to make, and it starts with what it is that you want to eat. So I agree with you. Episode 151 for me as well, it was a game changer. It's that aha moment where we do say we have to manage our obesity. And I think it's funny because I've refused to use that term for my entire life. And when I even saw it on my own chart and my doctor wrote it on my chart, I was kind of mad at him for writing it because I wasn't obese. I was just 91 pounds overweight, but I wasn't obese. And so now that I've figured out, as I start to work this journey and I understand a little more of what's going on, I'm proud of it. I'm an obese person living in a smaller body. It's just my obesity is just not visibly apparent. but it absolutely is the same mindset. And I continue to manage it, and I continue to make the right choices regardless of what else I have going on and get it done. I'm no longer living in denial. I'm living happy and healthy and proud of everything that I've done. It's given me a complete new lease on life, just like it has you. And that new lease on life transcends into your family. And as your husband watches your new life, flower, your daughter watches it, your whole family begins to change. And the things that you do together will be life-changing. So thank you for your email. Keep up the amazing work. You're down 75 pounds. That doesn't happen by accident. You can do this. Keep doing what you're doing. Celebrate along the way, and let's get it done. Beth out of Stevensville, Montana writes in real quick and says, I'm so glad I found you. I have a very long road to go. Well, Beth, I'm glad you found us as well. And I'm glad you have a long road to go, because this road doesn't end. There are victories along the way. There are finish lines along the way. There are celebrations along the way. But the only way it ends is when it ends. So you want to have a long road. It doesn't mean you have a long road of suffering. It doesn't mean you have a slow go at it. It means you work the weight loss part of it, and you live that long road happy and healthy. Congratulations on having a long road to go. I think we all want a long road, and when we ride this thing. So thank you for your email. Last up, anonymous one says, Dear Fat Dag, I want to say thanks for your service, and also thanks for you for providing us with such a great tool, as well as inspiration to take on each day. I want to start off with my letter with a little backstory about me. I joined Weight Watchers on November 3rd, 2016. I joined not because I wanted to lose weight or to be healthy or to feel beautiful. I joined because my mother so kindly asked me to be her wingman in her journey. My mother has stage 3 kidney disease, and as we all know, there is no cure. It's basically going to decline to the point where she is miserable and going to dialysis weekly. The thing is this disease is hereditary. Therefore, my mother has watched her mother go in and out of dialysis for over 10 years. She refuses. She is afraid to live her life this way, so she let us know early in October that she wanted to get on the list to get a kidney transplant. Well, no such luck. Turns out morbid can't be in front of obesity in the description. So we set out to get her to goal. I was in this for support, but I received so much more. A year later, I have lost 84 pounds. My mother has lost 95 pounds. My sister has lost 50. We truly are better together. I have learned healthy habits, how to redirect my stress and worries into a healthy form of exercise. I have more self-love than I've had in years. For once, it's not an I think I can, it's an I will. I may have not have known it then, but that girl that joined early November 2016 was a very lonely soul whose only true comfort was food. The girl that smoked 2 packs a day and would eat over 3,000 calories a meal was the girl who just wanted to be loved, not by anyone else, but herself. I don't know when, but throughout this journey, I began to like me. Sorry for the rambling, I do that sometimes, but for my question, there is a woman I work with who recently has become increasingly hateful and actually makes fun of me for waking up early to work out. She makes comments like, I wouldn't be getting up that early if I didn't have to, or you're just nuts. I mean, this is my life choice, and as much as her opinion of me means nothing, it just bothers me how someone can take such a beautiful thing such as weight loss and transforming the mind and body and make it so negative. She is doing the Atkins diet at the moment and she's having success. And of course, I am so happy for her because I know how much weight loss can transform a person into the absolute purest form of themselves. But it's once you make comments like, I don't know how you eat like that, I would feel sabotaged. It just makes my blood boil. Because I eat anything and everything that I want within portions. What would you do, Fat Dag? How do you handle a judgy person? Well, I'll tell you, let's put that jealousy aside. Let's go back to the beginning of your email. You joined simply to help out your mom, and one of my favorite quotes, buddy of mine, Dan Rooney, always says is that when you reach back to help somebody else, something amazing happens, and what happens is you're actually the one who gets the help. That couldn't be more true as I read your story. And you didn't join because you wanted to lose weight. You didn't join to get healthy. You didn't join to feel beautiful. You joined to take care of your family. You joined to support your mother and to be her wingman in her journey. And as a result, you've lost 84 pounds. Your amazing mother is down 95 pounds with your sister down 50. What an amazing story of truly being better together that is. You know, you found ways to push the fear and push the stress away, and absolutely love what you said is that you found self-love that you hadn't had in years, and your mental mind where you say I no longer think, it's I will. It kind of goes back to my quote and my saying is that it has nothing to do with luck. You have to actually just go do it. You're absolutely getting it done. So, you're absolutely you're changing your life. And, when you said throughout this journey you began to like you, I think what's interesting about that is I had that same reaction in my journey. But what's interesting is I actually didn't know that I didn't like me until I started liking me. And it was just a mind change for me, is because in my life, most everything was going very, very well. So when I got to a point where all of a sudden it became better, it took me looking back to go, oh, okay, well, maybe I was a little depressed, and maybe I had a little bit of self-hate. And now, I'm over posting all over social media. I'm taking selfies every chance I get because I like what I've done. I like who I've become. And it's awesome to see that you have that same feeling. Now, let's talk about, this gal at work. How do I handle a judgy person? I love them. Right? And so her negative comments are a reflection of where she's at in her journey. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. Whatever she has going on in her life is just not working for her. And so here is the point in the journey where you have to then go, okay, you don't have to endure the comments. And I would say you slowly somewhat disassociate and you kind of move away from the negativity, but it's easier said than done. But there's a very, very important piece to doing that. Is as you remove the negativity from your life, you have to be willing to help change it. And what I mean by that is that as you move away from her, you have to move away from her in such a way that you always kind of have an eye looking back, and you're always willing to reach back with a hand and bring her to where you are. She's begging to get to where you are in your journey. The amazing success that you have is contagious. People want that. You have the ability to give them that. You have the ability to show her that you can love yourself. You can love the journey. You can leave the negativity. I don't want you to get back to her level. I want you to understand where she's coming from, and it's just not the same place that you're at now. Continue to doing everything that you're doing that's gotten you the success that you have. You found the right support network. You found the support in your mom. You found the support in your sister. You don't need support for her. What you now is you are support for her. So tune out her comments. And a lot of times I think, this is not an invitation, by the way, but a lot of times when I see negative comments that come my way, to me, it's somewhat validating. It's validating that someone's paying attention and someone's listening, and they're seeing the results that I'm having, and they want a piece of it. And so that validation in the form of negative comments, it somewhat fuels me to keep going because it tells me that I'm going in the right direction. No one was jealous of me when I was 264 pounds. There weren't too many people that said, man, I can't wait to be overweight like he is. And so largely I was ignored at that point. So what I would tell you is keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy your success. Show her that it can be done. Show her what love looks like. And together we'll celebrate getting it done. What is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Go to fatdag.com. Click on Wise Advice Podcast. Send in your celebrations, your comments, and your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. I want you to email in your celebrations because I want you to be proud of what you're doing. And that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Whoop, whoop. There we go. That's episode 153 in the books. Very, 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 very cool. So this is going to be fun. So that whole thing didn't record the audio anywhere. So interesting, right? So we will figure that out in a little bit. So those of you who got to hear it live, you got to hear it live 5 different places. If I can strip the audio off of Facebook, I'll strip the audio off of Facebook and move it to the podcast. So 153 may or may not make it to the app. Technical difficulties. So the computer behind me was not on. So anyway, moving right along. So yeah, that's episode 153. Thanks for being here. Paula's over on Facebook. Let's see. So this is what's interesting now. Now I have too many things going on, obviously, and keeping up with comments. Melissa, thank you. Linda, thank you for sure. So again, just recap. We're live on Facebook here. We're live on Twitter, Instagram. You're getting ready to time out. Instagram's at 35 minutes, so we're going to lose Instagram 35 seconds. YouTube, we're live here. And then we're live over in the Wise Wingmen Facebook group as well. So live all kinds of different places. So Debbie says, was reading The Purpose-Driven Life early day in the NICU. Good night, everyone, and good night for sure. Yep. Charlotte, yeah. I think I've done this before, so I'll be able to get the audio. It's just not going to be the same quality of audio. So, it is what it is. So, maybe the YouTube audio will be there as well. So we'll figure it out. We got something going on. So, Bunny, thank you for sure as well. And Ellen says your new puppy liked it. Very fun. Cool. Henry, how are you? Good evening to you. Well, cool. Well, because of that, because I didn't record the audio, so now it's going to take me a lot longer I got to now pull the video down and then strip the video out. And so it's going to take me a lot longer. So let me go ahead and sign off now so I can do that and see if I can save this and put the hit in the show. So apologize for that. That's what we get. Well, next time we'll figure out, but cool. Thank you for being here. Again, as I end every show, this journey has nothing to do with luck. Tomorrow, there's a good chance we'll come live again. I'm off for 3 more days before I head back to work, so there's no reason we can't get a show in tomorrow. And a lot of folks are asking for a Saturday show somewhere in the middle of the day. Is that still true? Midday tomorrow. So around 4 o'clock. Jan over on Facebook says tomorrow at 4 works. So that is the goal, maybe. So around 4 p.m. tomorrow, we'll see what the schedule looks like. When I get up tomorrow, we'll start piecing my day together. And if it works out, it works out. But cool. So anyway, best place, couple things, last notes for you. Best thing is Twitter is hands down the best way to get notified of when I'm going live. I will update Twitter whenever I decide to the show. It lets you know the second I decide. Twitter gives you a 15-minute warning, and then also gives you a live warning. Then you can get the alert from Twitter, but then come watch the show somewhere else. And yeah, and so that's how you'll know when I'm going live, and that's how you'll know what time we do it. So 4 p.m. is the benchmark. That's the goal. I will update Twitter in the morning to let you know what that is going to look like. So cool. And thank you for that. It's the only way to be, right? Ann says, I love the way you responded to judgy people with such compassion. You know, it really, is there any other way? Everything else is just misery. So, but cool. All right. Well, let me go now, see how much I can play with some audio and see what I can learn about stripping audio out of Facebook. Fun. Again, thank you. Have a great night.